And welcome back to the Flow Friday Sports Show. Joining me now on the line to talk all things KNT Netball is Sally Bywater. Sally, a big weekend of netball. How are you feeling?
Very well. It's always good to another round down and pretty unscathed. So, it gets that busy point of the year, which is great.
Sure is. Now let's look at the action that unfolded over the weekend. The big game between Lucindale and Bordertown is where we'll start probably the entire competition, hoping that Bordertown could do a favour for everyone by knocking off the Lucindale girls, but not to be. They were too strong in the end, winning 48-39.
Yeah, I think you're right there. The Lucindale team nice at the top of the ladder, but Bordertown really put up a great effort here. That was quite even throughout the game. It was just one bad quarter, but Lucindale won the third quarter by 5. But apart from that, it was only 1 or 2 goals different each quarter. So a great effort here by Bordertown, but Lucindale really playing a strong 4 quarters to get the win in the end. And almost their in top spot there.
Yeah, it does appear that way. They've played more games than 2 other clubs, but it doesn't appear to really matter because they've really got a stronghold on the first place position, and that is a very handy win for them indeed. Interesting, Sally, to note that virtually no one in this round got trounced. Pretty competitive scores all round. We'll go over to Mundalla. They hosted Border Districts. Border Districts getting the better of them in a real close and exciting affair, though.
Oh, absolutely. We probably thought Borders might have won this game a little bit easy, but they've done it really pulled up to them, only losing by 3 goals. So, again, that's just one bad quarter, or a 3-goal difference in the second quarter. So, apart from that, Mundalla very competitive all game. Borders having to make a few changes in their goal circle, which probably made that for the better. But a great consistent effort by both teams with Borders just getting out on top at the end.
Yeah, well, it just sort of goes to show that this is a competitive league. We'll move across to Penola. They hosted Keith, and the home side too strong in the end in Penola.
Yeah, and this is the one we actually counted the game of the round. So the biggest margin of 16 goals here, 59-43. So it was the 2 top 5 teams playing here. And Penola, we thought that they needed to get the win in this game, and they played a great game of netball to get that win. And it was great to see a lot of juniors up in Keith's side playing. But, yeah, I think Penola haven't been able to get their team on the park much this year, all the players available at once. So to do that was great for them, and they're coming well at the right time of the season.
Naracoorte keeping themselves in the mixer with a lifeline, beating Pathway. They were expected to do it, Sally, but nevertheless, you've got to do more than just show up these days. Pathway not disgracing themselves, though.
Oh, absolutely not. We probably thought this would be a great win here by Naracoorte, but only to win by 9 goals. 54-45 was a great effort by Pathway to stick with, and they second and third quarters were even, like 11-all for both those quarters. So Naracoorte going up by 3 in the first and 6 in the last. So I just think a great team effort here by all players on that court, and Pathway really being competitive, which we hope to see. And I do know Naracoorte were a bit short on players, so they had a couple of fill-ins, but they obviously played really well and good on them and getting that win because they really need to win this game.
You're the expert on the ground here, Sally, and I just wonder, for the listeners' sake, if we could get some kind of proper perspective and maybe a bit of context as we sort of get into the last rounds of the competition. These bottom sides, or the sides that are, I guess, have the knowledge that they're not really going to go and sort of shake things up at all throughout the remainder of the season, do you feel as though the sides that they play, is there a sense that the teams they play might be resting players and taking it a little bit more easy and conserving as much energy and momentum as they can? Or do you feel as though these more bottom sides are punching above their weight and really trying to sort of make the best account of themselves possible as the fixtures all start to run out?
I really think everyone's trying their best still, even though they might not be in contention for the finals. They still want to get out there and they want to have a win. So I do know, obviously, Bordertown, Mundalla and Pathway just outside and probably not going to play finals netball, but I know each week they're going out on that training court and putting in the best effort they can and hoping to get the best teams out on that court and really taking some momentum into next season. They might not get the wins this year, but I know you beat a top 5 side and you feel pretty good with yourself after that. So I think we'll see some great games from these clubs in the last few rounds.
Kybe Bolite with the bye. We'll look at what it all means for the table and how it all stacks up, Sally. So we've got Lucendale, as we said off the top. They are sitting pretty on 18 points in first place. You've then got a very competitive run-in. So you've got Border Districts in second on 16 points. Kybe Bolite third on 13 points. Keith in fourth on 14 points. Penola in fifth with 12 points, and then Narracourt in sixth with 11 points. I just wonder, could Bordertown potentially still get that sixth spot off Narracourt in your view?
Mathematically, they could, I do believe, but I do know they're playing probably three of the top three sides. So they played Lucendale last week, and they've still got Keith, Penola and Narracourt. So they have to win those games. If they do, they probably deserve that spot to play finals netball.
So there we go. Virtually the top five looks secure. Do you see any movement going into the last few games here? I mean, you've got Keith and Kybe Bolite really sort of playing it out. I don't feel as though Border Districts are going to let their second spot slip. How do you think it's all going to go?
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. I think Lucendale, they'll probably finish minor premiers. I think they'll have that spot. Border Districts, again, I think they're looking quite good there in second spot. Kybe and Keith, anything can happen. And I think Penola, I reckon that will be the top five, and Narracourt will be the unlucky side to miss out. But I think, over these next few weeks, we're going to see some great netball, and those teams are all going to play each other, which is exciting to see.
Sure is. Let's take a look at the upcoming fixtures this weekend, commencing on Saturday. So we've got Pathway. They will have the bye. But Kybe Bolite, they are hosting Mundalla. So this will be interesting. Sally, what's your prediction?
Oh, absolutely. And when they played in round 4, it was only a goal the difference. So Kybe had that win by 1 goal against Mundalla. So Kybe are coming off that bye. So they've had 2 weeks off. They'll be raring to go and ready to hit that strap. And they want to probably finish in that top 3 position. I think they'll get the win here, but Mundalla's very competitive and will take it up to them again.
2 weeks off isn't always a good thing in netball, Sally.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if it is. It's probably some resting people, and some sickness might be around and off the holidays, but I think you'd lose match fitness over a couple of weeks. So I think it will be hard for them to come back. So Mundalla had played a great game last week, so they might take momentum in, but close game here, and Kybe up.
Now we've got a top-of-the-table clash here between Lucendale and Border District. Sally, this is mouth-watering stuff. No script needs to be written to pump this one up.
Absolutely not. Absolutely match the round here between Lucendale and Border. So when they played earlier on, Border District's got the win by 10 goals in round 4, so they'll be wanting to take that momentum in. They've got the home game. They'll want that win. And Lucendale is sitting pretty at that top, and they probably want to keep that spot as well. So I think in a close game, Lucendale, because they're playing some great netball at the right time.
And I think Bordertown playing Penola will be an intriguing fixture for some neutral observers as well, Sally.
Oh, absolutely. Penola just sitting in that 5th spot only just, but when they played in round 4, they won by 30 goals, and I'm sure Bordertown don't want to see that result again this round. So they're putting together some good netballs. They can get their team on the court. They'll be competitive. I think Penola will win because they really want to cement this spot, but a great game here in Bordertown will be on the cards.
No doubt. And the last fixture between Keith and Narracourt, both these sides have plenty to play for, Sally.
Again, absolutely. So Keith is sitting in 4th and Narracourt just out. Narracourt need to get this win to have a contention for finals this year. When they played earlier on, Keith had the win by 8 goals in round 4, so it'll be a great game here in Keith. Indoors, there'll be no weather conditions to be in effect, so I think a great game. I think Keith will just hang on in a close one. And
just talking about game of the round, I think there's no use trying to put any sort of sugarcoat any other fixtures really, because it's all going to be about Border Districts playing Lucendale. So do you reckon they'll get a bit of a crowd down there?
Oh, absolutely. And so they should. These two deserve to have some people watching them, because it'll be a great game at Francis when you're playing the top of the table, and they've both got a lot to fight for. So I think definitely match the round and get along to support this one.
Well, Sally Bywater, enjoy all the action in KNT Netball this weekend. Thank you for joining us on the Flow Friday Sports Show. Enjoy it all.
Will do. Thank you very much.